advanced part. Just like I show you that I'm an A6 speaker. So actually that means I'm in the advanced part, and I have already did 6 advanced speeches. So I have already finished the 10 speeches in the CC manual, and I did 6 in this part. And the advanced speeches are the system is more complicated. So once you finish your CC part, and then you can go to understand this part. But today we won't go deep inside that. The diversity of the advanced part is more interesting. Okay, so in each project, so actually this you may not saw this before, you may not see this before, but it's okay. It's okay. Just you will get this once you decided to deliver your C1 speech, because the EPP team will give you the handouts when you sign up. So don't worry about you don't have this now, but I just want to show you the first page of it. So in the manual of each project, you will see some introduction, some instructions, and some resources first in that, and it will be about 3 to 4 pages. And then there will be the objectives of the speech project and the time limit. So for C1, it's 4 to 6 minutes. So here's the table for just like as you got on the handout. Yeah, so this is the conclusion table for it, and you can take it as a reference. So for C1, the most important thing is that you have to introduce yourself to others and experience the stage. That means you have to try to know which part you have already good at, and which part you are not. So that is just the details. You can ask your mentors for more detailed information. So here comes to the first main point of today's SGD. So what should we write in our speech? This is the first thing you have to write. So according to my experience, you can choose many different topics in your speech, and we can categorize the topics into like three parts, and this is only from my experience. It's not So the first is you can deliver a speech about your experience. It can be just like an introduction to something, like you can introduce your trip to like Honghu. You can say a story about your trip to Honghu. And another is like your personal story, that is the most unforgettable journey I have ever taken, or something like that. It can be just an introduction, or it can be a more deeper stories, why I love for many years, something like that. Or the topic can be the issue that you are interested in. Just like in last semester, some people deliver a speech about stock market. So that can be an issue that you are interested in. And also, some people will choose the topics that fit to the project objectives, just like the manual, just like our manuals. And some will choose some special purpose, choose topics for special purpose. For example, in the past there is a person, he delivered a farewell speech to his best friend in Chen and invite his friend to come here to listen to this speech. So that will be a special purpose speech. But this is from my experience, so there is actually no strict boundary among those 3 categories. Just like you can say the issue that you are interested in, but use your own experience to support your ideas. Also, you can choose the topic that fits to the project, but still use the issue you are interested in, or use your own experience to make things more fruitful. So the main thing is actually what the key messages you are going to deliver to your audience. What are the main points you want your audience to know. So in order to make your key messages useful, you have to know your audience. Why it is important? Because like me, I'm from computer science. I can say something related to the technical part very excitingly and very complex, and I feel very happy. But my audience will feel nothing. They will feel I'm just saying some nonsense. So, and also I may use some examples that is far away from the audience. So, knowing the audience, who are your audience, is very important. So you not only need to know that you have also need to think the relations between the audience and your topic, and can you find any relevant experience among your audience, and link that to your audience? Can you do that? So if you really want, just like me, if I really want to talk something about computer science, I want to talk about programming language. So I need to use some daily examples, like we all need to solve problems in our lives. So solving problems in our lives, just like we solve computer science problems using programs. Some related or relevant experiences. And after you know your audience, you have your topics, and you have the key messages. Now you can decide the materials that you want to use. So again, according to my experience, I categorize the materials into two parts. The materials can be just the information, the concept, or it can be examples. So for example, information, there are some other smaller parts, like the information or the concept can be some definition or some description. Like if I want to talk about my trip to Penghu, then I may mention something like Penghu is a very beautiful island western to Taiwan. Or if I want to talk about some information or some concept like programming context, I need to give the explanation of what is programming context. Or I can use some quotation to support or to illustrate my ideas. Like I will leave this to later on. So other category is called examples. Actually, this is on your handout you have on the other side. Examples. So examples can be stories or some imaginary scenarios. True story can be yours or can be others, but you tell it. And the imaginary scenarios can be like in my thesis speech, I talked about privacy leak, and I just invite my audience to imagine one day you are walking on the street and suddenly men come to you and say, "Hi, Amy, how are you? Long time no see." And I don't know the person very much. I even don't know who he is. So, but he just knowing everything about me. He knows my recent life. He knows I have one sister and one brother. Why he know me so much? I invite my audience to think about this scenario. This is imaginary scenario, and I just want to say it is because I use Facebook and I put too much information on Facebook, and I have my privacy leaked. So that is for imaginary scenario, but use this to lead the audience to think the situation that may happen in the future. So there may be a plenty of materials once you think once you decide your topics, but you need to decide what materials are the most useful and the most relevant and effective to your audience. You have to make your audience feel your topics, your key messages are interesting. But I found another type of materials, and I don't list it on the handout I give you. I call it slices. I can describe this kind of materials very clearly, but it's just like for example, some punchlines. Some punchlines. For example, I can say